Hey Internet, Eric here. Movie review tonight. This movie is brand new. Came out just this year in 2016. It's been available video on demand for 2-3 weeks. Just saw it within the last week. So if you're new to my channel, or if you haven't seen it yet, please be warned that there will be some spoilers. I'm only going to warn you once so you don't hear it ad nauseum, but yes, there will be some spoilers when discussing this film today, whenever you decide you are watching this. I'm talking about Rob Zombie's 31. Now, basically, if you've heard the internet, there are basically two camps when concerning 31. They fucking loved it. They want their money back. There's not really a lot of meh, in the middle. Me, I fucking loved it. Not gonna lie. I love Rob Zombie as a musician. I like all of his films. Some of them are kind of hit and miss. Some of them are kind of meh. Some of them are fantastic. But yeah, 31 brings me back to The Devil's Rejects, which I fucking love. Yeah, and I'll get onto it. The basic plot is we are following a group of carnival workers. And we are following, obviously, because she's in every one of Rob's fucking movies, his wife, Sherry Moon Zombie. We are following Jeff Daniel Phillips. That's him. Meg Foster. Freddie Boom Boom Washington himself from Welcome Back, Kotter. Lawrence Hilton-Jacobs with Jamaican accent. And who is the other guy? Kevin Jackson. And Kevin Jackson is right there. Basically, what it is we're following this group of carnival workers, and they are kidnapped and forced into this Running Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie type scenario where they have 12 hours to survive being hunted down by homicidal maniacs. And that's it. It's kill or be killed. And like I said, I fucking loved it. First off, Rob Zombie's really good with his direction. He's good with creating atmosphere. And let me first say that all of the characters here, the main characters, the carnival workers, they have a great chemistry with each other. You can tell that they're friends. They've been together forever. They care about each other. And how Rob does that is like what he did with Devil's Rejects. He throws in home video footage, of them just fucking around and playing with each other and having a good time. He did that with, The Devil's Rejects with the Firefly family, so it made you care about them more. He did that with Danielle Harris's character in Halloween 2, which made her scene more tragic, the home movie footage. So you can tell that this is a close-knit group. And they get real close, I guess, or you could say closer, as the danger grows. So we'll talk about performances first for the carnival group. Sherry Moon Zombie, like most of her performances, is kind of hit and miss. Sometimes she's really good. Sometimes she's just kind of eh. But Jeff Daniel Phillips, he plays Roscoe. Well, Sherry Moon, she plays Charlie. But Jeff Daniel Phillips, who plays Roscoe, like I said, that was him. I think he's like the maintenance man or something like that. He's really likable. I mean, he comes off as kind of an ass in the very beginning, but then he grows into this protector role, because he's there with two women and he's trying to make sure that they get out safely. Lawrence Hilton-Jacobs plays Panda, and like I said, he's Jamaican accent, likable, again, strong character. I keep thinking of Kevin Jackson as Levon. He's just really there. Really nothing to say about him. My favorite of the group, though, is Meg Foster. She plays like the motherly role. Obviously, she's the oldest. She plays the motherly role. And there's a scene where they come across a past victim of the 31 game. And the rest of the group doesn't know if this victim is a plant or not. And it's Meg Foster going against the grain, going against the group, and say, no, we have to help this person, you know, we can't just leave her to die. And it's great because it's in a very intense scene where they're trying to fend off two of the psychotic killers. And it's great seeing her strong performance. You know, she's dead set against saying, no, we have to free this girl. And everyone's like, no, fuck you, we cannot do this. We can't take the chance because, you know, what will happen? So that was a great scene. And I love how Meg Foster went from motherly character to badass character when she takes out some of these killers. And it's just, wow, this isn't an old, frail woman. I mean, I don't know how old Meg Foster really is, but, you know, she's showing her age. But, man, she can go. And I loved it. Let's go to the killers now. Let's start off with Malcolm McDowell. Okay, Malcolm McDowell, it's basically a glorified cameo. Sporadically, he's maybe in it for 10 minutes. But I have to say his name. His name is Father Napoleon-Horatio-Silas Murder. And with this copy, you can't really see it that much. But he's got, you know, the old-timey Renaissance wig, complete with painted face and everything. And he's like, you know, the master of ceremonies. He's telling them where they need to go and this and that. And what's great about him is a lot of his scenes is just his voice through loudspeakers. And his voice has a presence, you know. It's really good. It's really creepy, and I loved it. We have, let's see here. Well, the first killer we see is not him. Schizo-Head, played by Pancho Moller, and I'm probably butchering his name. He is the Spanish Nazi midget. And no, I'm not politically correct, little person, whatever. Spanish Nazi midget. This man was terrifying. First off, the scene is you know, it's in the dark, it's in the shadows, and he's yelling at them, whooping at them, screaming at them, singing at them, going back and forth between English and Spanish, you know, knocking on the walls, terrorizing them. Very creepy. And watch this movie in the dark, because that gives you a good feel of the characters, what they're dealing with, especially during the scene with Schizo-Head. And he's psychotic and he's having fun. He loves the chase. He loves what he's doing with these people. And it shows. Wonderful, creepy performance. Now we have the two brothers. I think they're brothers. We have Psycho-Head and Schizo-Head. Psycho-Head here, played by Lou Temple, a regular in Rob Zombie films. And Schizo-Head is David Urey, this dude here. Now, Rob Zombie's always pretty good with dialogue. Like, look at Bill Moseley in The Devil's Rejects, or Sid Haig in any one of the films. Lou Temple here as Psycho-Head has probably got the best dialogue in this film, other than a character we're going to get to. And the two of them, Psycho and Schizo-Head, they are chasing our characters with chainsaws, and they're vulgar, and they tell each other what they're going to do with the chainsaws, and they're sick and twisted, and it's wonderful. I loved seeing these guys on screen. They were terrifying. They were funny, but they were, like I said, they were scary. There's a scene where Psycho-Head, Lou Temple, and Roscoe, Jeff Daniel Phillips, are going at it, and you don't know how this is going to end. Is Jeff Daniel Phillips going to survive, you know, being the hero, or is he going to be one of the victims? Because how dangerous this scene is. I mean, you can feel the tension, you can feel the horror here, and it's great. And Schizo-Head is just as fucking nuts as Psycho-Head. You know, I got all the characters printed here because there's so many heads in this film. I'm just trying my best to keep up. But yeah, I loved. That's the thing about this movie. It's like Devil's Rejects, where you love the villains, And you know you're not supposed to, because there's the villains, you want to cheer for the heroes, but you love the villains because of the charisma. Like I said, some of the one-liners that Lou Temple says, and you know it's just really really cool. I love how Rob can make psychotic characters likable. Not necessarily likable, but you know, enough where you're like, holy shit, that's a cool fucking character. Now we have Sex Head and Death Head. Death Head is played by Torsten Vogt. Death Head is this guy right here. And he's partnered with Sex Head, played by the wonderful E.G. Daily, who I've been in love with ever since I was a kid, ever since Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But here's the thing. Sex Head, like I said, played by E.G. Daily. We see her earlier in a scene where she's talking to the group before they're captured. She meets him at, like, you know, it's the trope that is in every horror film where, you know, you see one of the killers early on and you don't know it's a killer until later. It's not a spoiler, you can tell who she is. And like I said, E.G. Daily's still looking beautiful. Beautiful as she has always looked. And then when you see her as Sex Head, they make her look... I don't know if it's a mask she's wearing in the film, or if it's a fucking creepy-ass good makeup job. They make her terrifying to look at. And she does a great job going from sexy and seductive when you first see her out of the paint to psychotic and menacing and scary in the paint or in the mask, and she's terrifying. And she's partnered up with Death Head, who basically is like a big foreigner wearing a tutu chasing after the people. I wish there was a little bit more of Death Head and Sex Head. They're, compared to the other heads, we see them the least. And as terrifying, like I said, as terrifying as they made E.G. Daily look, I wish we saw more of her. And again, Death Head, he had a lot of good one-liners, a lot of good, you know, dialogue, and I just wish Rob threw him in there a little bit more, stretched out that scene. Final killer is the star of the fucking film, Richard Brake, or Brack, I don't know how you pronounce it, as Doomhead. Now, this man, again, charisma with these fucking villains. The first time we see him is in the very beginning of the fucking film, and he gives this huge monologue. Just talking about what he does for a living, how he gets paid to do what he likes to do. And it's just a wonderful, brutal, creepy scene, and it's fantastic. Every time this man here is on screen, you cannot turn away. Be it that opening monologue, be it him painting his face and punching himself in the face to psych himself up to get ready to go do this, be it his very violent sex scene with Ginger Lynn before he gets the call to do it, can't take your eyes off it, and then the final, you know, when he's finally duking it out with Sherry Moon Zombie and everybody. This man, Richard Brake, is the star of this film, and it shows here. I've only seen him in Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. He's the paramedic after they get in the accident. He's the one that has like the broken jaw, and he keeps screaming fuck. So, but this man, given this material, is fantastic. He's got a presence. He's got a scary look. He's got great body language. I mean, one of the final times we see him, the camera's just on his eyes, and goddamn, he's got some of the scariest, most intense eyes that you'll remember, and it's wonderful. So that's basically, for the most part, all the characters. I mean, Tracy Walter shows up. Tracy Walter, he's in like Conan the Destroyer and a bunch of. He's a character actor. He shows up as just like, you know, an old disgusting gas station attendant. But score. John Five does the score, among other people. But John Five is a fantastic musician. And his score here is great. It's great with the intensity, with some of it, the calmness. I mentioned the way Rob has filmed this. There's a dinner scene here with some of the surviving members, and just the way it's shot. It's basically a table with them sitting at it, and like a blue background. I think there's like a single leafless tree back there, and you see like the fog and everything, and it's very, you can feel the creepiness there. It's great. When he is filming, like when they're being chased by Sickhead, the midget, and they're in like bathroom stalls and jail cells and stuff like that, you can feel how claustrophobic they could be feeling because the way he shoots it. And like I said, it's in the dark. You only see a couple lamps above it. So like I said, that's another reason why you should watch this film in the dark. Really, really great. Yeah. Gore, pretty damn decent. We get some stabbings. We get, I think there's a beheading or two. We get, it's pretty, for a Rob Zombie film, you get what you get. And I cannot wait for this to come out on home media because apparently there's going to be an unrated cut, which I am absolutely going to get. I mean, I can stream this movie anytime I want. I'm going to go out and buy this unrated just to see what was taken out. Soundtrack is good. Lots of 70s, of course, tracks. And let me just say this. Without spoiling anything, it's concerning the ending. And it's a huge Devil's Rejects feel. What Freebird by Leonard Skinner did for the ending of Devil's Rejects, Aerosmith's Dream On at the end of this film is the same thing. Like now, every time I hear Freebird, I will always think of the end of Devil's Rejects. Every time I now hear Dream On by Aerosmith, I will think of the end of 31. And again, we'll just say the use of home video footage. But seriously, I have probably rewound the ending to this film half a dozen times because I love it so much. The way it cuts between things that are happening, along with the song. Fantastic. One of my favorite parts in the entire film. This is kind of a minor spoiler, so pay attention. I like how you don't really know too much about Malcolm McDowell's character or Judy Geeson or Jane Carr, who plays Sister Dragon and Sister Serpent. They're the group of people that are watching 31, having 31. I like how you don't really know much about them at all, but as 31 ends, like I said, this is a minor spoiler, you see them basically, they're normal, everyday people, and that's what's scary. That's what's creepy. This is just a game they play to have fun, and then when they're done, they go back to their everyday lives, and that's horrifying. So yeah, basically, there is not a bad thing I can think of. If you're going into a Rob Zombie film, you know what the fuck you should expect. If you go in expecting a Rob Zombie film, looking forward to a Rob Zombie film, you should not be disappointed. And I sure as fuck was not. Likeable characters, great chemistry between the characters, great dialogue, other than the usual Rob Zombie throwing the word fuck in like every 30 seconds. Likable characters, great dialogue, badass killers. You love these villains. You wonder what they're going to do next. Fantastic soundtrack. Zombies back to the way he's shooting. I love how he does a lot of his freeze framing again. Like something's happening and it freeze frames and then the scene wipes away to the next scene. Always loved when he did that. My only qualms is I wish we had more Sex Head and Death Head. Basically it. And I wish we had more Malcolm McDowell. Like I said, he's basically in it for 10 minutes. But yeah, absolutely fantastic movie. I loved it. Wholeheartedly recommend it. If you're a fan of, like I said, grindhouse films, if you're a fan of, intense films, if you're a fan of the 80s movie The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is like basically what this is. You should like Rob Zombie's 31. I cannot recommend it enough. I had fun with this. So much fun with this. And I was worried that my expectations would be too high. And I was not disappointed. Bam! This was such a fun, intense film. And I loved it. Loved it. It's, like I said, I loved it so much. I can stream it anytime I want. I'm going to actually go buy it on physical media. So, there we go. Rob Zombie's 31. Highly recommend it. That's it. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell everybody, tell nobody, whatever. Check out other films. Why do I always fucking say check out other films? Check out other videos I've done. Yeah, I'm not going to go through this spiel, so I'm just going to say cheers. Check out Rob Zombie's 31. Fall in love with Sherry Moon Zombie. Fall in love with E.G. Daily, whether she's creepy or beautiful. And like Doomhead says, in hell, everybody loves popcorn.